Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 15 in the NFL, and we're talking right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, long-term successful professional handicapper, almost 30 years of success in the industry. And of course, every week, Joe Duffy agrees to take whatever games I assign him, the toughest games that none of the other handicappers want to touch for good reason. Right now, we're going to cover Jacksonville, Baltimore. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Well, thank you for having me, Peter.
All right, Joe, Jacksonville, Baltimore. Before we get to this game, give a plug for OffshoreInsiders.com and, just tell everyone what you do at your site, why you've had such success long-term.
Yeah, no, this is really, honestly, this started as an obsession as a young child when I was about 10 or 11 in the mid to early 70s. Don't want to admit how old I am, but it's pretty tough to hide in these videos. And it became my profession right out of college. So I've been doing this full-time for 27 and a half years now, and I'm pretty darn good at it. Picked up quite a few things along the way.
All right, sounds great, Joe. Well, thanks so much for taking all these games. And of course, our regular viewers know that you cover all the games that are the toughest ones that no other cover handicapper wants to take. I swear to God, Joe, every Sunday night and Monday I preview, I do my research for all these games. I write down my personal notes. You know what my note on this one is? Here's my note. I'm going to read it verbatim. This game, I guarantee the cappers will pass on. It's going to be a Duffy game, right? And here we are on Wednesday afternoon. Of course, they passed on it. Baltimore, 14-point favorite, totals 45.5 or 45, down from 46, and it's understandable. Baltimore got a strong win at Miami, as some people predicted, and the Jags, they're playing tough. They seem to be still giving it 100%, but they got an expected loss and ATS loss in their last game. They're weak. They're 3-9-1 against the spread overall. Obviously, Baltimore should have a big edge. The question is just the 2 touchdowns, 14 points. Is that a little bit too much? Backdoor should be wide open at the end of the game for this one. Maybe you want to take the total here. Joe Duffy, what's your take on this game?
Yeah, no. There is, as far as the other stuff, there is an advantage to having done this a long time and doing this full time. That's why I'll take any game that you give me. But this line is definitely going to jump around probably a little bit because sharps are looking at injuries on for both teams. First of all, Ravens wide receiver Torrey Smith, indications are that he's probably going to play. How effective he's going to be remains to be seen. He was a little bit limited last week, so the updates on the Torrey Smith injury status, plus Denard Robinson, who's really starting to turn into a heck of a running back for Jacksonville. Of course, we remember him as the multi-dimensional quarterback when he was at Michigan and was a great running quarterback, although he never quite evolved over his career as much of a passing quarterback. But now he's becoming a pretty good weapon in the NFL. But now he is listed as either questionable to doubtful. See, we don't like to make a big commitment, say either he is questionable or doubtful. In this case, he's really kind of on the borderline. We would call him questionable to doubtful. And he's our leading rusher, averaging 582 yards. So if there is line movement later on in the week, I think it's going to be directly because of some injury information when we get it updated. But, at the end of the day, what did we say, when we previewed the game last week with Baltimore? Joe Flacco is one of these guys when his back is to the wall, seems to play their best. That's why Baltimore's played themselves in a pretty good position with their backs to the wall, winning 3 of 4 straight up and against the spread. Meanwhile, the Jaguars are definitely vulnerable. In addition to the injuries that we talked about, Allen Robinson, this is going to be the 4th game he's missed. He's one of the big weapons for Jacksonville. So not that Jacksonville had many weapons to begin with, and it looks like this game they're even going to have fewer. They give up 5.9 yards per pass at teams, or they give up 6.7 yards per pass at teams are normally getting 5.9. So they're very vulnerable against the pass. And I think Baltimore has that nice combination of confidence and plenty of motivation where I do think that they are eventually going to cover the spread in this one.
All right, so you want Baltimore minus 14?
Yes, I know. That's probably going to surprise a lot, not only my customers, but people who watch the free videos, because I normally don't like laying the big number here, but especially depending on, Jacksonville's the injury statuses that I talked about and how much this line moves, I might consider it as a premium play. But yeah, I normally don't like to lay a big number, but as you would say, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to. Yeah,
I mean, it's not that it surprises me, because I certainly wouldn't want to take Jacksonville plus 14 here. It's just sort of airing my concerns. The Jags were down to the Giants, right? A much worse team than Baltimore, 21-3 at halftime. but they didn't quit. They came back and they won that game. And here, if we have a similar situation, if Jacksonville's down big at the half, I could easily see Baltimore, letting them back into it just enough to get the cover, obviously not coming close to being able to get the win. But, if we have the same situation, Baltimore up huge at the half, Jacksonville still fighting in the second half, will Baltimore really care to maintain a 2-touchdown margin?
No, I agree with you. It is a very dangerous game because Baltimore, they still have to fight for a playoff spot. You can see how the back door is going to be wide open. Anytime when you're talking about 2 touchdowns, it is wide open. And yeah, the bigger picture there, by the way, handicapping lesson where you hear people all the time say they think this team has quit. Teams don't quit in the NFL. Maybe sometimes in week 16 you see it, but no, they just don't. So that is not anybody who thinks that if Jacksonville falls behind, they're going to quit. They're not, because they got guys who are fighting for their careers. But yeah, all the dangers you said are definitely very much valid. But still, I think the higher percentage play is to lay the points.
All right, Joe Duffy, man, you are the only one willing to take games like these, and you're going to go with Baltimore here, minus 14. Thanks, Joe.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns. Big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.